Not a lot left here. Welcome to Robert's British Cars. This is part 12 in the restoration of our 1964 MGB. Now, if you've been keeping up and following along in the previous 11 parts, you saw me take various components off this car, recondition them, and then pack them away. Well, there's no more components left. We're down to just a sheet metal. So what I want to do today is walk around the car and examine it and see just how much work it's going to take to restore the body. Now, I got to be honest with you. I looked at this car already. It's going to take a lot of body work. I don't like doing body work. I haven't done body work for 40 years. I prefer to pay somebody and let them do it because they probably do a better job than me. In any case, I can't seem to find anybody willing to take on this project, so I'm going to go as far as I can and then have somebody else actually paint it. So, before I start grinding rust and pulling fenders, let's take a walk around this and see what we have to work with. Boy, where do we start? Well, how about, why is it red under the hood? The answer is quite simple. The guy I bought the car from painted it. His idea was to paint the car red. So he pulled the engine, and then while the engine was out, he painted everything under the hood red. That's why it's red under here. You know, you can see some interesting things when the car is completely torn apart. Like, for example, this is where the heater motor goes, right? And the heater box sits here and blows air down here. And right there is where the little door is above your feet. And these little round circles here go into tubes, which come out here in the defrosters. Another interesting thing is we look in the air vent. This is where the air from outside the car comes inside the car. And it goes down into here, okay? Now, that hole you're looking at, that's where that squeaky door goes on. So when that door opens and the heater isn't on, you're getting air from outside right into the car. Now, what I've seen a lot of people do in a colder climate is they'll cover this air intake in the winter and open that door so when the heater motor runs, it's drawing the air from inside the car, which hopefully is a little bit warmer than the air outside the car. Well, enough about MG anatomy. Let's take a look over here. This is where the pedals go. Now, this is a little rusty because to get these bolts out, I had to heat it. And that was some time ago. So when I burned the paint off, now it's starting to rust. Another interesting thing is these two holes right here just had screws in them, but they didn't do anything. They're just plugging a hole. This one down here, I broke trying to get out. I don't think I'm going to worry too much about drilling that one out. Now I'm going to try to turn this around and see if we can see in here. This is inside the fender. And as you can see, it's pretty rusty in there. I'll get a better look at that when I get the fender off. Speaking of fenders, as we look inside the front fender here, it's your standard undercoating. Down here we have a little bit of rust going on. We'll look at that when we get under the car. And we'll get a better look at this when we take this fender off. And looking at the fender from the outside, we can see we've got a little hole right here that, yeah, we're going to have to do something with this. I know that they make the bottoms of the fenders, so this can be cut off and a new piece put on. But to take the fender off, I'm going to have to do something about getting these, that's a screw, believe it or not. There's one there, and there's one here. And I don't know if I have to cut those off or whatever to get the fender off. But this is the worst of the car, the bottom of the fender. The rocker panel does not look too bad. Nothing that looks like it's a hole. As a matter of fact, this rocker panel looks like it might not be the original rocker panel because it is in such good condition. Up here, inside the rocker panel, see where I'm at? I'm right here. There's some rust in here. And these holes, this hole here, for example, is in between inside the rocker. So that's going to need some attention. Since I'm down on the floor, I might as well stay on the floor. This is the back dog leg, back fender. And again, this doesn't look too bad. And when we go inside the car, you'll see why. This section has been replaced. There's a seam up here, and this bottom part has been replaced. Inside the fender itself, well, we see some of the original blue, but as we go this way and come around back here, underneath the car, you see this is solid. As you can see, this is there's no rot under here. This is the bottom of the back fender, the inside of it. This is the inner fender, and we can see up in here, it's all looks pretty good. One thing that doesn't look good as I turn around is what used to be the battery box. Here's the bottom of the trunk. And this is where the gas tank bolts in. That all looks pretty good. Little teeny bit of rust here. Again, inside the fender, get my light. Inside the fender, doesn't look like there's any rot in here or on the bottom of the fender. And back into here, we can see we've got some deterioration here and here. Gonna have to deal with that, but get the light here. But inside the fender, there's a little debris in there, but the fender itself looks pretty good. As does the spider eggs. They look delicious. Wish I had some bacon. Under the car is fine. And, you know, the leaking and the grease preserves the metal. What can I say? We're taking a quick look here at the passenger side. And as you can see, the bottom of the passenger fender, again, has got some rot on it. And we'll probably replace the whole bottom. There's a little screws that we're going to have to redo right here. But again, the rocker panel, put my light down, the rocker panel feels solid the whole way. Here's another area I've seen on other MGs that had been rotted away, is this cross member where the jack goes. And as you can see, this car is pretty solid. And as we look up in here, we can see on the other side, there were pinholes in here. This side, we don't seem to have any. And to give you an idea of where exactly we're looking here, that's inside the passenger side rocker panel. Let's take a look inside the trunk now. I can raise this up. And down here we have a little bit of rust, but it's only surface rust. The inside of the trunk is pretty darn solid. As we can look around here. Not bad at all. If we look closer here, you can see this is all very, very solid. Little surface rust is all. So as we look inside the car, we can see the battery box here on the passenger side is rusty, but it's pretty solid. The driver's side one is the one that we looked at that was a little deteriorated underneath. But underneath here, the back of the car is solid. The floors, they just have surface rust on them, but there's no holes in them yet that I can see at this time. Down in the footwell, get our light over here, that also looks pretty solid. The starter cover, I'm gonna have to take that rubber cover off. I don't even know if those are still available, so I'm gonna be very careful taking that off of there. Under here, no rot. There's our squeaky door from this side. No rot under here. It's just a matter of getting the rust off or treating the rust. Let's go look at the driver's side. Oh, I'm getting down on the floor here on the driver's side. Usually, it's been my experience that the worst rust spot is right here, where the driver's heel rests. All the water dripping off your shoe, I guess, so it just sits there in the carpet and rots the floor. But this looks pretty good to me. There's no holes here. And again, this surface rust, it's gonna be really interesting if I get in here with the sandblaster and start cleaning this off, what it's gonna look like. Here's an interesting thing right here is where the dimmer switch was for the high beams, and I had to heat it up to get those bolts out, which is why it looks burned and the paint is off. This again is the original iris blue, and that's what I want to turn the car into when we're all done. This is the little wheel that the squeaky door rides on. I got to get that nut off so I can get this mechanism out and get it cleaned out. There's a lot of little nuts and bolts still on this shell. Like, for example, down here, there's 2 screws. Get my fat hand out of the way. There's one here and one here. I'm not exactly sure what they do, but I got to get those out of there. And I really don't want to have to cut them. So stuff like that's going to require some work. On the driver's side of the car, behind the seat, right here, is some sort of identification plate. We can read it together. It's Pressed Steel Company, Crowley, Oxford. Obviously, PS stands for Pressed Steel. Swindon and Linwood, etc., etc., and manufactured under licenses and patents, etc., etc. That's an interesting plate. So there you have it. The walk around of this beautiful British Roadster, 1964 MGB. I suppose I got to get started here someplace. I just don't know where to start. I'll probably start by taking off the fenders and working on those rust holes in the bottom of the fenders and the rust on the inside of the car. Then I'll see about getting some sort of sandblasting or rust removal system going, and we'll take it one step at a time. And if you want to follow along, be sure to subscribe to Robert's British Cars. Until then, we'll see you next time.